Micro business planning. In this activity, we're going to look at how you would plan for a micro business activity. All the resources that I'm going to use in this video are in the link below, which you can download and use for your own student guide. So firstly, what is a micro business? Let's refresh our memory. A micro business is an enterprise that employs less than 10 people. These tend to be small and they tend to be local, and that's what we're going to focus on all the way through this activity. So let's think about what makes an idea successful. Why will a business be successful? Well, it might be because it's innovative. In other words, it does something really unique or really different. So it's not just copying somebody else's business, it's giving the customer a reason to go. For example, it could be like a sports shop that lets you try the golf clubs in a fancy little net, for example, you hit the ball towards, rather than you have to take it out to the driving range. So it's putting two places in one, or a coffee shop and a bookshop in one. Something that's totally different, something totally innovative. It may be that it's something that's aimed at a new market. So it takes a product and it tries to sell it in a new market. So for example, imagine water. Water is a fairly standard product, but then if you put it in a nice bottle and you sell it as sports water, it's then being sold at the sports market. So that's you sell something that exists already in a different market. Or you could try and sell something in a new context. So again, that's the idea of taking a product and trying to place it somewhere different, somewhere totally unique. For example, taking your cafe and taking it out on the road into a mobile van or a catering market, something like that, doing something totally different. Remember, these can be products or they can be services. They don't have to sell physical products. You could sell a service. So what you're going to do in this activity is you're going to come up with 3 ideas. And you'll see that I've given you this template already. And you've got your business idea in the middle. You've got idea 1, idea 2, and idea 3. And where it says idea 1, 2, and 3, you need to replace that with what ideas you've got for a micro enterprise. Remember, it could be something selling a product, something selling a service. And you should have 3 different ideas. At this stage, they are purely ideas. They are micro enterprises that you could possibly run in your local area. So think about things that you could do in your local area. Now, it's important to say here at this point, they need to be realistic. So maybe things that you could do with a little bit of help and support, but nothing too large, nothing too stupid at this point. You want to be things that you think will be successful, but at the same time are realistic. So for each of your ideas, you're going to create a table like the one below, and you'll find the link. I've given you a resource where you've got the table made for you. So you'll have 3 of these tables in total, and you need to obviously say what your idea is. You need to explain your idea. You need to say where it's going to be located. Your target market, so who are you aiming at? Try and think about the age, the gender, maybe the interests, and maybe where they typically, their incomes, for example, the people you're going to target at. Any existing competitors, so anybody else who does your business at the moment or might be a similar competitor to you. And then maybe just a brief statement about why you think your idea is going to be successful. And you'll have 3 of them in total. But that's showing you thought about the idea. Also, for each idea, you're going to conduct some primary research and some secondary research. Now, remember, primary research is research that you've conducted. Secondary research is research that you've got from somewhere else. So our primary research you're most likely to do is going to be a questionnaire or a survey. In our questionnaire and survey, we might be trying to find out who the customer is, how much they're going to be willing to pay, would they buy the product or service, how often would they use that product or service, where do they currently go to get that product or service that they've got at the moment from. And that would be the form of a questionnaire. And really we want to try and close our questions up. So we want to have a lot of quantitative data, stuff that we can graph in an ideal world. But there's nothing wrong with having a few qualitative questions where you get some feelings and thoughts. In addition to this, we also need to do a little bit of secondary research. We need to find out who our existing competitors are, how much do they charge, where they're located. And again, you'll have 3 sets of research. Now notice that they don't need to be too detailed, just thinking about your ideas here, trying to get them to be successful. So let's have a look at an example just for one business of what it might look like. So there is my table where I've explained my business idea. You can see here that I want to do some football coaching. and I've explained my idea is to offer football coaching on a Saturday morning to local people in B-Town. This coaching is going to specialise in skills development and making football fun. So you can see what's unique about the idea there. I've said it's non-competitive, and it's different from what exists at the moment because it's only a Sunday morning normally that people go to it. The location, I'm going to hire B-Town's Leisure Centre football pitch, and I'm going to basically pay £40 for 2 hours use on a Saturday morning. My target market, you see here, I've got males and females. I've got an age of 10 to 14, and they're going to live within 3 miles of B-Town. My existing competitors are B-Town Athletic Football Club and their Sunday League side, and I've said that they train on a Wednesday night, and they also charge £5 per session. And then I've answered the bit, why will it be successful? Well, I said nobody else offers football training on a weekend, basically on a Saturday morning. That's on a 3G pitch. I said that everybody else basically does competitive training, where I'm doing non-competitive training, and I'm going to charge £4 rather than £5. So you can see that I've said why it'll work. There is my idea. So here is my secondary research. So look, I've gone and found out about my competitor, B-Town Athletic Football Club. Right, you've got the price there, what they charge. So £5 per training session, £5 per match, plus £30 to be part of the team. And I've done some strengths and some weaknesses. Notice my strengths of B-Town Football Club are in green. So the fact they've got a reputation and a brand name, they're well known and respected. They've got use of the B-Town playing fields. They're the only team in B-Town. They're all great strengths for them. But at the same time, I've got the competitive nature of them. They only train on a Wednesday and a Sunday. They're the weaknesses. I've put them in there. This table you've got a link to in your pack down below. So again, you can just fill it in for your competitors. But again, just try and think about strengths and weaknesses about what exists at the moment. And then I've got my primary research. So you can see here that I've done a little questionnaire. Very simple. I've done one where I've asked about what gender you are, what age you are, do you play football? If yes, how often do you play? Do you currently play for a football team? Which team? So you can tell me which team you play for. You know, are you interested in doing football for fun, for example? How much are you willing to pay? Dead simple questionnaire. Now notice the way I've chosen it is selected the questions, gives me the data I need. So the age, for example, there's an option for 10 to 14. So hopefully 10 to 14s will fill it in. I'll know it's them. Do you play football, for example? When do you play? All questions like that. That's just an example of a questionnaire. I could get that data then, and I could then start to use it. You need to do that for 3 ideas. So each idea will have primary research and have secondary research. What we'll then try and do, and I'll do that in another video for you, is you're going to try and analyse that data and make a decision on which idea is going to be the best one to use for your micro business enterprise. So you're going to try and do some research and then use that research to help you make a decision on which will be the best idea for your business. Hopefully that's made some sense to you. Hopefully that's been a useful video resource to get you thinking about enterprise and starting up your own micro enterprise. Don't forget there's a collection of resources that you can go onto my website for, and you'll be able to download them. You've got all the resources you need down below as well. Make sure you give it a like and a follow. You know what I'm going to say now? Until next time, keep buzzing.